Yeah, I was in the first like group of people to get laid off with all of this shindig. When they started to close the bars, or when they announced that the bars had to be closed, we got a message from my boss where I don't work on the bar side. It's like a cheesemonger bar situation. Um, but he brought up like obviously hours are going to be reduced. If you are in a position where you don't feel comfortable coming to work, let me know. If you're in a position where you need to come into work and there's no way that you can make it around it, let me know. If you need me to bring you food or like figure something else out, like let me know. No one's going to get evicted over this and no one's going to go hungry, but like you need to communicate. um, so he was outstanding with that, and I think my last day was March 16th. Because I was in the group of like, I don't have the greatest lungs, I don't really understand the best of what's going on with this. All I know is that there's a lot that I don't understand, and I'd rather not risk it just to be around a bunch of people who like to like touch their faces and then go and touch our products. So,
That's entirely fair. Um, so was it a hard decision for you to leave your position?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I told them I'm like, this is a catch-22 because if I don't go into work, my coworkers do. If I do go into work, and I'm an accident, like I'm an asymptomatic carrier, I could potentially harm somebody. I can harm my coworkers, and I'm like, no matter what I do, I don't feel comfortable with it. But I'd rather give hours to somebody else who needs them more than me.
Gotcha. And are you able to get unemployment for volunteering to leave, or are you
In theory.
in
um,
very
yeah, I'm exercising as much grace as I can because I mean we've seen a 5,000% increase for unemployment, and there's no way you can employ enough people to handle that increase. There's no way. It was so many people who have never used the system before. Like, oh my gosh, it's a hot mess, and it's no one's fault because you can't just like call coronavirus and say like, would you mind waiting till next Tuesday so we can like figure our shit out? That's not the way that it works. Um, so in theory, yes, I've applied, I've been approved, but there's been some weird stuff with like certifications and confirmations, and past employers who just aren't sending in what they need to. Aperitivo's been awesome, so I will brag about them, but everything else has just been kind of a hot mess, and I'm just over here hoping it works out.
that's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you how reliant are you on that unemployment income? Like, do you have a little bit of a safety net for a few months yet, or are
Yeah,
you getting close?
yeah. I do have a tiny little bit of a safety net for about like 2 months. Not because I'm great at saving. I'm definitely not. I'm not going to advocate that like everybody should have been ready or any of that. Um, like I'm in working class. I don't have that just laying around. Um, but through like side hustles or through other stuff, it just kind of came together. And with not going out, you stretch that dollar a little bit farther. So I'm good for at least 2 months. And then after that, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Well, you don't seem that anxious about it, if I'm honest. Are
Yeah, I've done a lot of talking with friends and with my partner of just like I am anxious as hell, but that's not going to solve problems. Just gotta grin and bear it and like show as much grace as you can because everyone's trying to make lemonade out of these lemons, and there's no easy way to cut around that.
For sure, for sure. That's a great way of looking at it. When you say you've said show as much grace as you can a few times, what do you mean by that?
Um, I already told myself I'm not going to be the person who gets upset that the system is crashing. Like, I think it's okay to say that you're frustrated or that, um, like, you wish that this was better, but I don't see how that would have been entirely possible. Like, people need to not be working right now, and there's going to be a crash in the system, and that's just how it works. Um, so making sure that like we're speaking kindly to one another when those problems do arise, not like ranting about it on Facebook and not like just bitching about it to everyone you know. Like, yeah, it sucks. No one's in an ideal situation, but you have to like put on a strong face for it.